Hi, it's Sonia here, and welcome back to my art YouTube channel. I feel like I need to change how I introduce this because I keep repeating the same thing. Anyhow, today I am going to make a video about me hopefully completing this 100-day project. This is my 100-day project sketchbook. I started it, I have a feeling, a few years ago, and then I kind of forgot about it, and I have been attempting. I want to finish this off now, and yeah, then I want to have a think, because this sketchbook has still got quite a few pages in it. What am I going to do? Do I carry on with heads, or shall I just use it for figure studies? I mean, I want to keep it figurative. I don't know. Let me know if you've any thoughts. I'm kind of tempted to keep it for heads just because I have got into that flow, but we'll see. So I wanted to share this one to celebrate the fact it is my last in terms of 100 heads, and also because it's a nice way. Sometimes I get one of the questions on simplifying portraits. This is a way to simplify, I think, drawing people, and that is to limit yourself to, I haven't limited myself to the right things, to three materials, and to choose, maybe have a reference book or sort of relatively simple face. Like I've gone for this. This is a secondhand, $2 secondhand book from a library sale, Michelangelo, and I love it because it's just got some really nice pictures of these. I used to like going to museums and drawing from the marble busts and sculptures, because yeah, they're just lovely forms and a great way to practice drawing skills. So yeah, so I've limited myself to 3 materials in this process, and for example, I have I've chosen a rainbow pencil for today for this one. I love these rainbow pencils. I've actually bought a new set because they're all going down to nothing and I use them a lot. And then I've got a tiny bit of for colour, just a Pentel oil pastel. And then the other thing that has been working for me in terms of simplifying faces is to use, whoops, that's the wrong end, to use the finer end of this metallic marker as a way of picking out certain areas that I just want to be aligned. So it's kind of a linear sort of way of doing it. Okay, so then let's start this sketch. This is the bit that sometimes goes wrong for me, I'm not gonna lie. I sketch freehand. I mean, I've talked about before, I've drawn, when I first started, the thing that I remember drawing from a child and being interested in drawing is people and figures. I think when I was a little girl, I wanted to be a fashion designer, so I spent lots of time drawing, making up figures and fashions with my grandma, because she was into drawing too. And then yeah, even at school, like GCSEs, and I was into like the drawing, sort of copying like Toulouse-Lautrec and Degas and those sort of figures from books. And I've attended life drawing, and I've read books on, I guess I've learned my own way of drawing people. And as I've said before, I think one of the things is to get the bare bones. And I know a lot of art teachers teach this, it's about looking for the shapes, isn't it? So like not drawing, what's it, what they say, drawing what's there, not what you think, sort of like, we all know what a face is made of, but you're just trying to map out regions, what you see, well, where the things go. Features is actually it's actually quite hard to talk and draw this sort of drawing. And the other thing I have to remind myself is I'm not trying for a likeness necessarily with this project in some ways. But I want to get a face here, and I'm not terribly good at imagining. I couldn't draw a face. Well, I could, but I've never. That's a good point. Maybe I should have a go at that. I really like to draw people from references, but if I am to draw slightly realistic. And his feet, if you look at I feel like I need to make his nose longer. If you look, maybe I'm trying to get a likeness. I don't know. But so I don't want to go too into the drawing yet. I'll come back to that pencil for adding more burst of colour. So now I'm going to do the mark of it. So with this, in terms of, again, to make this a simple, relatively quick process, I'm just going to go in quite boldly, and I can see, like, I'm looking for his hair. There's these curls working out. I bet because I'm filming this is going to go wrong. It's probably going to be like the worst one, isn't it? I've actually been hesitant to film. See, look, this is not how I'd normally do it. Normally I'd be really bold. Come on, Sonia, like, it doesn't matter. More hesitant to film my drawing people because I would get really. This is where normally I'm in my own head, and I can also get really frustrated if it doesn't go how I want it to go. So I am looking for the thing I love about good life drawings. And again, I don't think that some of my favourite artists, we think like Egon, is it Shelley? Oh no. But my favourite artists or Klimt, like, they exaggerate. It's not that they're necessarily drawing a really accurate, immaculate sketch of a figure. It's almost the lines, like if a good sort of line is, for me, that's wrong because there's a finger coming up, but I like very linear drawing sometimes. So yeah. And I kind of like sometimes that there is no going back with these markers. You are kind of committing yourself. Though, you know what you can do is gouache paint is great, or acrylic, white acrylic, just paint over. Use it like Tipp-Ex, which I used to use a lot of at school. I don't even know if the kids, I don't even know, my kids always like typing. I don't even know if kids even need to worry about Tipp-Ex anymore. Okay, so yeah, I'm just looking for, I love doing, the other thing that works well with these sort of sculptures is I love the eyes because they're almost like blank. That sort of, so it's a good, I mean, I'm being a little bit hesitant. I would normally work, I've got to be honest with you, normally I'd probably be a bit more confident and work quicker with this. So it's an opportunity to, let's try and, come on, let's go faster, Sonia. Be more bold. Get in there with the pen. If it's and sometimes the markers have if you get a marker you like, it's got that really nice, I don't know if you can hear it. I love the feel of it on the paper, like sort of a swoosh. So I'm trying to get into, you can see, can you see? I'll have to stand up and see. I'll also try and zoom, when I edit this, zoom in at places so you can see close up. But you can see like the demarcations of the curls. They've carved out, they've paid attention, or Michelangelo's paid attention, and probably his studio assistants to some areas. Okay, where we're at with the draw. So I'm going to come back, I think, with the pen. But now I'm going to move on to using this crayon. And I'm sort of I'm gonna like squint my eye so it all goes a bit blurry. And I'm gonna look for, I'm looking for the shadows, for contrasts, where I wanna, it's nice putting his chin, like sort of. So I'm looking at, I like these areas to sort of bring those out in my drawing. I always had fun with them. I know I talked about it before with Posca pens, doing these drawing from these sort of references, because they are, it's almost like a simpler, if you think of like, I love the fact these statues, you don't have all the different like hair colours or skin tones. It is sort of monochrome in the sense you get to really, it helps me simplify, and then I felt braver about having fun with changing up colours for eyes and skin and hair. And sometimes with a page I'm like looking at this one, should I get into his fingers? I mean, it's the fact that his hands, do I want to get into that or do I not? I mean, again, it's the other lovely thing about when you do your art is you get to choose what you include and don't include. I've now managed to get myself involved in drawing a hand. I can tell it's going to go wrong, but hey. I don't really want to get too involved in that, to be honest with you. I want the focus to be on the head anyway, because it is 100 heads. I could do 100 hands, maybe. Maybe I could do like 100 different, choose other body parts and stuff, but. Okay, now I want to go back in with this pencil. So I'm picking out the areas again. I wonder if I should have kept to the same pencil for both of these, but I chose not to. So this is just a fun exercise. I think like if you just want a drawing warm up, or if it's a different page for a sketchbook, to look at some old art. And I was thinking, even if your head is all wonky and out of I made that neck is not right, is it? I feel like it's a good, it's just a good way of like playing around with faces. And I think adding some limitations in terms of material also is fun, because you're going to get a different result than if you just maybe use graphite. I wonder if I can show, like, I think this allows me to be a little bit more playful with it. Whereas I find if I go with, let me try and flick through. I got a graphite page. I'm pretty sure I do have a graphite page. Okay. Okay, this is a good example. So this is using, let me just check it's all in. But I mean, maybe I'll focus on these. Like here, I'm looking for shading. I'm getting a lot more into just copying maybe the image, but I still kept these pretty simple actually. I just feel there's a different, for example, yeah, if you change up your materials, you're gonna have a different vibe, as it were. Is that fair to say? And again, this page is, I feel, has changed. I'm using like similar, they're all heads, but I'm changing up how I'm playing around with. Now I've gone and lost the page. I should have put I mean, to be fair, I think that is actually nearly done. Oh my gosh. Maybe I can edit this bit out. On the other hand, you're getting to flick through a very nice Michelangelo book. Is this it? Yeah, this is it. Okay, so how do I feel? It's actually interesting standing, looking through. I get a different. All right, so now I think to finish it off, I am going to, this can muck it all up if I go. I'm going to do a little bit more. With the pen. I've actually probably spent more time on this one than I did on all the others, but okay. Is that good enough? Sometimes it's fun to like colour in a bit, like I want to keep some of the white because, okay, I think this is for me good enough. And this is number 100. So yeah, that's my sketchbook process, and obviously I showed a little bit of this sketchbook as well. So maybe this is something you might want to do as well when drawing heads. Let me know. Thank you as always for watching, and I'll say bye for now.